Choosing Peace. Chapter 5. Recognizing what restores you. Finding the things that genuinely fill you back up. Most people can tell you exactly what drains them. Very few have ever stopped to ask what genuinely restores them. That question changes everything. Chapter 4 asked you to look honestly at what takes from you. That was important and necessary work. This chapter gets to be different. This chapter is about the good stuff. The things that put energy back in. The moments and habits and simple pleasures that leave you feeling more like yourself instead of less. The things that, when you are honest, you have probably not been giving yourself nearly enough of. This is the chapter where you start building your personal restoration map. And it might be one of the most important things you do in this entire book. The question most people never ask. Here is something worth sitting with. When did someone last ask you what restores you? Not what you need to get done. Not how you are managing. Not what everyone else needs from you. But what genuinely fills you back up when you have been running low. Most people cannot answer that question quickly. Not because the answer does not exist, but because they have spent so long focused on output that they have lost track of what recharges their input. We learn early what is expected of us. We learn our roles, our responsibilities, our obligations. We become very skilled at identifying what other people need. But the practice of tuning into our own restoration, of treating our own refueling as a genuine priority, that is something most of us were never taught. You are learning it now. And it is not too late. Restoration looks different for everyone. Before we go further, I want to be clear about something important. There is no universal answer to what restores a person. What fills one person up can drain another completely. An evening out energizes some people and exhausts others. Silence feels like sanctuary to one person and loneliness to another. This is not about what should restore you. It is about what actually does. The only wrong answer here is someone else's answer borrowed as your own. Your restoration map needs to be built from your real experience, your actual body, your genuine preferences, not from what looks good on paper or what you think a well-balanced person is supposed to enjoy. Your peace is personal. Your restoration will be too. The 4 restorations that changed my life. When I started paying attention to what genuinely filled me back up, for things kept rising to the top. They are not complicated. They are not expensive. But they are mine, and that specificity is exactly what makes them work. Being outside when the weather is kind. There is something about being outside in good weather that no indoor environment can replicate. The air, the light, the simple fact of existing in something larger than 4 walls. When I come home and the sun is out, stepping outside before anything else is not optional for me anymore. It is a reset. It is my signal to myself that the workday is done and this time belongs to me. You do not need a park or a trail or anything special. A back step, a small patch of grass, a quiet street. The outside is the thing. Fresh air and natural light do something to the nervous system that walls and screens simply cannot. Food that actually fuels you. Changing the way I eat was one of the most unexpectedly powerful things I did for my peace. Moving toward a way of eating that is simpler and closer to what my body actually needs. Real food, clean ingredients, things that fuel rather than drain, made a difference I felt from the inside out. Most people do not connect what they eat with how they feel mentally and emotionally. But the connection is real. When your body is running on food that serves it, your mood is more stable, your energy is more consistent, and your capacity to handle stress is genuinely higher. Taking care of your body is not separate from choosing peace. It is part of it. Music. Music is one of the fastest mood changers available to any of us, and it is almost always within reach. The right song at the right moment can shift something in minutes that would otherwise take hours to move through. Pay attention to what you reach for when you need to feel better. That playlist, that artist, that one song that always lands, those are not trivial preferences. They are tools. Intentional ones. Use them deliberately and often. Creativity and free time. When we are depleted, we tend to consume. We scroll, we watch. We fill the silence with other people's content. And sometimes that is fine. Rest looks different on different days. But there is a particular kind of restoration that only comes from making something. Writing, drawing, cooking something new, building, decorating, gardening, crafting, singing, whatever form your creativity takes. When you make something with your hands or your mind just because you want to, with no deadline and no audience required, something in you wakes back up. Creativity is not a luxury. For many people, it is one of the most direct paths back to themselves. Building your personal restoration map. Now it is your turn. Work through the categories below and write down what genuinely applies to you. Be honest and be specific. Vague answers produce vague results. The more concrete your list, the more useful it becomes. Physical restoration. Movement that feels good. Not exercise as punishment, but movement your body actually enjoys. Rest that is truly restful. Sleep, stillness, or quiet time that leaves you feeling recovered. Food that fuels you. Meals and ingredients that make your body feel capable rather than heavy. Being in nature. Outside air, natural light, open space, whatever version of nature you can access. Sensory restoration. Music. Specific songs, artists, or genres that reliably shift your mood upward. Silence. The absence of noise, notifications, and demands for a defined period of time. Comfort environments. Spaces, textures, temperatures, or atmospheres that immediately calm you. Scent and warmth. Candles, tea, a warm shower, anything that signals safety to your senses. Creative and mental restoration. Making something, any creative act done purely for the pleasure of creating it. Learning something new. Feeding curiosity without pressure or performance attached. Reading for joy. Stories or ideas that absorb you completely and pull you out of your own head. Daydreaming. Unstructured mental wandering with no agenda and no productivity required. Relational restoration. Genuine connection. Time with people who leave you feeling better rather than emptier. Laughter. Real, unforced laughter with people or through things that genuinely delight you. Solitude. Time completely alone to exist without performing or accommodating anyone. Making restoration non-negotiable. Here is the shift that separates people who read about this and people who actually change. Restoration has to stop being the thing you get to if everything else is done. Because everything else is never done. There will always be one more task, one more obligation, one more reason to push your own refueling to tomorrow. Restoration has to become scheduled, protected, and treated as seriously as any other commitment in your life. Not because you have earned it. Because you need it. Because without it, everything else you are trying to do gets harder, slower, and less sustainable. Start small. Choose one item from your restoration map and commit to it today. Not this weekend. Not when things calm down. Today. Even 10 minutes counts. Even a single song counts. Even stepping outside for 5 minutes of fresh air counts. You are not filling your cup so you can give more to others. You are filling your cup because you deserve to be full. A note on what you discover. As you build your restoration map, you may notice something surprising. Some of the things that restore you are things you stopped doing a long time ago. Things you loved before life got heavy and busy and full of other people's needs. That is not a coincidence. When we are depleted, we tend to abandon the very things that would help us most. We tell ourselves we do not have time, or that it feels indulgent, or that we will get back to it eventually. Eventually is now. Whatever you left behind that used to fill you up, this is your invitation to go back and find it again. It has been waiting. You now have 2 maps. What drains you and what restores you. Together they are the most honest picture of your energy that you have ever had. Everything we build from here will use both of them. Coming up in Chapter 6. The people in your world. Energy givers, energy takers, and learning to tell the difference.